Hey guys, Problematic Boy here.
Just need a
Just
moment to
re-recording this
catch my
video after a little mix-up. We are playing right now a little softcore build update. On our Earthshatter Raider, we eventually switched to Earthquake with an Ulna Tolls. Whatever the axe is, it's 400 to 700 PDPS. Not 400 to 700, it's 500 PDPS, but it has a lot of base fizz. That ended up turning out really good. Can do all content pretty easily. I kind of got bored of it. Right now, we have a cock character with this astral plate. Yep. We're going what's caught glacial cascade, and we're scaling the explosion. So we have, god damn it, Herald of Purity, Hatred, Precision, of course. And our gear is pretty much nothing gear. We have 2 Cospreys. We have the Life Leech support and a Doriani's lesson, so we have a lot of Life Leech. We have this node here for a little bit of Energy Shield Leech, and we have Doriani Timeless Stroll to smooth out the damage. Works pretty well, not really worried about dying. We're also scaling the explosion with Taste of Hate, also scales our Glacial Cascade, and its Serious Promise, which also scales our Glacial Cascade. We're really scaling that fizz on the Glacial Cascade. Let me run through a map here. I'll just do a regular white lighthouse. Tier 9. No big deal. And we're also using Vortex with Bone Chill, Curse on Hit, Ellie Weakness, along with our Frostbite and Hit Rain. Right now, our boots are not Tailwind boots. They could be Tailwind boots. But they're Wind Streaks, so we can get the second curse, since our chest doesn't have the curse on it. It's sort of like a budget option. Obviously, we're also not using a Headhunter. If you have a Headhunter, put on the Headhunter. As you can see, it plays just like a cock build. It's cock. Yep. Yep, cock. I want to talk a little bit about the Gauntlet, because the Gauntlet is tomorrow. And I'll go over the POB of my build in just a second. As you can see, we've scaled the explosion pretty well. We have some generic AoE on the tree. Blasting. Got a lot of cold damage on it.
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
And just a nice little quick run here. Of course, without actual movement speed boots, it's a little bit slow. And without the Headhunter, it's a little slow. But I think it does what it needs to do. It's about a clean million DPS with everything combined. And a million DPS is enough, of course. Overall, I've spent about maybe 10.5x on this build. So not that much. The chest was 8x. I found the 1 Cosprey, which is why I made the build. I was like, even if I have to use a shield, I'm going to do a cock. But I bought a second Cosprey. Everything else, I think the helmet was like 10C. The screen was 10C. The screen was like 5C. This was like 3C. This I found. And I found the windscreens too. Taste of Hate and Azir's Promise, both pretty cheap. I think maybe 12C total for both of them. And that's that. Let's talk a little bit about the Gauntlet. Let's talk a little bit about the Gauntlet. I have a POB here. Go to the tree. It is a Guardian Summoner. We are going Radiant Crusade for our first lab, then Radiant Faith, then Unwavering Faith, and for Uber, Unwavering Crusade if we get there. This is with a minion cluster. You can play without the cluster, of course, but I think it's a lot better with the cluster, because with the clusters, if we get lucky enough in grinding to get them, you can do 2 purities, plus if you get a Victoria's influence, you can get your hatred or generosity going, and then you have precision, vitality, and clarity. Obviously, you have to go over here for that, all the way over there. Kind of a pain in the ass. You can always drop the cluster and try to go over here for leadership, and maybe even, I wonder how that looks. Hold on, I'm not going to save this, but I wonder how it looks if I went like this. That's 94. Oh, you do still have mana. Interesting. Okay, anyways, forget about that. This is sort of like an aura stacker. You get... I can run 2 purities too with this? Oh, maybe this is just the way to go before you get the cluster. Definitely the way to go before you get the cluster. Anyways, we have a... We're going to be using Hatred instead of Wrath. We have a Secret Spectre. I'm not saying what the Spectre is, but it is something that you get from Heist. So we have Heist Spectre that we're going to be using. It is a good Spectre. It is going to crush everything. And don't worry about Baronite Preachers. I might switch to Baronite Preachers if the other thing doesn't work out, but don't count on it because Baronite Preachers have 26k life. They're going to die. This is what we're looking at right now without the cluster and with the Death Attunement Anoint. I think it's going to work out pretty good. I'm probably like the only guy doing this. And I don't think it beats Downblow. I don't think it beats Downblow at all, so we're not actually going for anything. But this is the Gauntlet build. If you're interested in other Gauntlet builds, I made 2 other ones. I made a Toxic Rain with a cluster, with 2 clusters here. You don't need the cluster. You can just rearrange your points. Obviously, with the cluster and with some Withered stacks from Withered Totem, you're getting a pretty good amount of damage. That's not with the ballistas. So, pretty good. This is just with a +2 bow and no other gear. So, think about doing that. Obviously, you also need an Empower. But pretty fucking good if you're asking me, and you get to run a Purity of Lightning or Ice, whichever you prefer. Pretty danged worth it if you ask me. I might run this still, last minute decision, but I think I'm going to go with the minions first. If minions don't work out, I might try this Toxic Rain out. And then for my second one, this one's really hard to level, so I'm not going to do it because you don't get any of the gems. But this one is a pretty spicy Chieftain. It's super tanky. As you can see, we have no gear on except a shield with 50 with how much is this? 80 life. We're at 265% life for tree. And we are at 5,468 life with nothing. So this is a pretty tanky build in terms of life. You can get a shit ton of life on this build. And it is, take a look, Armageddon brand, Blazing Salvo, Flame Wall. And the Blazing Salvo, keep in mind, it's Unleash, so this total DPS is not exactly true, because it's repeating 3 or 4 times. I'm not really sure. But it's repeating a decent enough times to get you to 1,000,000 DPS. And you're running Herald of Ash, Purity of Lightning, and Summon Skitter bots, and you have your flammability as well, which you can eventually, hopefully, from a something of the sort. So that is the 3 Gauntlet builds that I have done. I'm definitely not doing the Chieftain because it's a pain in the ass. I'm either going to be doing the Ranger, which I might do last minute, or I'm going to be doing the Guardian. Most likely the Guardian Summoner. So anyways, I'll leave you with the POP. Thank you so much for watching. It's Problematic Boy. I stream at twitch.tv/problematicboy. And tomorrow is the Gauntlet. So we'll be doing Gauntlet at 10 a.m. EST until my friends come over, because I have friends coming over that day. But anyways, thanks for watching. Mwah. Bye-bye.